Hello, welcome to Disembodied Screams. May the 4th be with you. I realized 4th was today when I'm dropping this. Thank you to my daughter for bringing that to my attention. Love the fact that my 9-year-old, going on 10-year-old daughter knows what May the 4th is. Parenting, done right there, folks. And she just watched the Pirates of the Caribbean movies a bunch too, and my son's into Batman and watching Andor as I'm watching Andor. It's awesome that my kids are sharing these experiences with me. Maybe one day I'll bring them on the YouTube channel. Anyways, you didn't turn in to Family Ties. You tuned in to hear my ranking of the Star Wars movies. And I'm scared. I'm scared, folks. I'm really scared about this. Oh, man, I'm going to get some hate down here. I know I'm going to get some hate, but I've never done a ranking video, so we'll see how this goes. I went over to Tier Maker and put a list together, and you can kind of look and see on the side what I wrote down. From worst to best, Misa called Jar Jar Binks is, of course, the worst. I hate to hate on Jar Jar, but it is what it is, man. Jar Jar wouldn't have been so bad if I think the vocals and the talking is what got me for Jar Jar more than anything else. Without that, if he'd just been a normal character, I think he'd have been fine. I think that's really the rub for me. And I don't think he needed to be in the movie as much. He could have let him down to where they needed to go and then gone. And that'd been fine too. I have a bad feeling about this. These are movies that are not bad, but they're not ones that I personally love. But I can still watch them and enjoy them. I can enjoy any Star Wars movies, except for the Christmas special. That one's really bad. And I do apologize if Tier Maker pops an ad up or something. I'll try and get rid of it. First time doing this. So anyways, next up, Do or Do Not, There Is No Try, which is kind of a mid-tier. Just a clever little take on Yoda. Love me some Yoda. Who doesn't quote that all the time? I don't quote that to my kids all the time when they're doing stuff around the house, homework stuff. The second one, and I know there is a movie here that's going to cause a lot of issues when I put it up here. The Force is strong with this one. These are movies that don't quite get to the top tier, which is May the Force be with you, but the Force is very strong here. So, and I'm going to do my best to remember all of them. I've seen them a bunch, but I don't like not seeing the names here. It does bug me a bit. And it's kind of hard to see the little thumbnail too. So, Empire Strikes Back. Let's start with the very first one, and that's going with May the Force be with you. I mean, it's up there with A New Hope being my 1 and 2. I yo-yo between. Those are my favorites. I saw those as a kid, grew up with them, and Empire Strikes Back was, I think, my first Star Wars movie in the theater. Don't quote me on that because I was really young. I might have seen A New Hope in the theater because I have memories of that. But yeah, The Empire Strikes Back, top tier, all the way, every day, all night. Just love everything about Empire Strikes Back. It's just so good. Story, quotes, direction, you name it. It's just amazing. Return of the Jedi. Over the years, this one has fallen more into the Force is strong with this one. It's not the top tier for me as like it used to be. It's really not. I love Return of the Jedi. It's part of my childhood, and I will never eat my childhood. But at the same time, I don't know what eat my childhood means, but you know what I mean. I won't ever go against my childhood. But I've noticed over the years, there are some things about Return of the Jedi, like the Ewoks are not as glorious to me now that I'm an adult. I still do enjoy them, but knowing that it could have been set on the Wookiees' home planet, which I think is Kashyyyk, right? Please don't scream at me if I got that wrong, but I think I'm right with that. But it was initially supposed to be set on the Wookiees' home planet, and then George Lucas was like, no, we got some money here with the Ewoks, so let's crank out some Ewoks. I do love the Ewoks, don't get me wrong. They're really cute. A lot of good stuff with the Ewoks, but that would have been a top tier movie for me if they had the Wookiees in there, man. But everything else I love in that one. I also feel like Han Solo in Return of the Jedi doesn't have as much. As I get older and I see these movies in a new light, he doesn't have as much to do. He really was solidly placed in the first two, and then in The Force Awakens. I think those all have really good spots for Han Solo, but not as good in Return of the Jedi. A little more goofier too. Phantom Menace. I'm going to go third place. It's not the bottom tier like it used to be for me. It might be the best of the prequels. The more I watch that, when you take Jar Jar out and cut down on that pod racing a little bit, and I just had something pop up. I hope that feed didn't mess me up. Had a little notification pop up. But you cut down the pod racing and take out most of the Jar Jar stuff and cut down on some of the takeoffs and landings, some of the CGI. And you've got a really solid Star Wars movie there. And they truly, truly wasted one of the best villains of all time in Darth Maul. He should have been carried throughout that prequel trilogy. And I've rewritten that prequel trilogy in my head so many times. Another negative against the Phantom Menace is I think they started with Anakin way too young. He should have been a teenager. He should have been in the academy by then when they started. I think the opening to the Phantom Menace should have been Anakin as a teenager and Obi-Wan sparring. And you see that first glimmer of a friction between them, right? That should be your opening scene. And then carry that theme throughout. And then introduce Padme and show the friction there. So when he finally goes bad in the third one, you're there for it. This is Attack of the Clones, right? Yeah, thumbnail's hard to read. I'm gonna put it here. Attack of the Clones might be my least favorite of the prequels. It might be my least favorite Star Wars movie. It just feels a little sloggy at times. I don't think I can put it in Jar Jar Binks. I can't do that to it. The Christmas one would go in Jar Jar Binks if I had it up here. Maybe the Ewoks Adventure or something. Revenge of the Sith, I'm going to put it up here. Do or do not, there is no try. I feel like Revenge of the Sith, I keep wanting to call it Return of the Sith for some reason. Revenge of the Sith, it's a great movie at times, but it's too light to be a dark movie. It's too much light in that dark of a movie. That movie should have just been just darkness. It feels very light for what it wants to be. And I think the ending scene when Obi-Wan and Anakin are fighting, the big moment that sets it all up for everybody, all over, all time and all place. I think that they didn't hammer that lightsaber battle too much. I mean, they're jumping on stuff and stuff's running around making noise. And then I think if they just had them like on a platform and just bump, all together, throwing each other through walls, throwing each other, and just tearing each other up, just having like a old boy style. If you guys have seen Old Boy, there's a fight in the hall where they're just going after him, And I think if they had a fight like that at the end, only to have, the victor at the end like that, maybe Obi-Wan tosses him out the window and he slides into the lava and Obi rushes down to grab him and pull him back up because he's on fire. And he's like, oh crap, what did I do? I think maybe that would have had a much more impactful ending to that. Force Awakens, I kind of want to put it here, but I'll put it here for now because it's third best for me now. My top two tiers, the movies I'm putting in here, they battle for spots. New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. I think you know where New Hope's going to go for me. They battle for number one all the time. And same for Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens. They battle for third for me all the time. I just love what they did with Force Awakens. Let me grab a little sip of water. It's hard talking like this. I've seen all these YouTubers doing these tier videos. I watch Cody Leach's all the time. They're so good. And Sean Chandler's and those guys doing all these tiers. And I'm like, I want to do one, so I'm doing one. But, man, it is hard on the vocals to talk this much. But, yeah, Force Awakens, man. That's the perfect way to bring in the old cast and the new cast. I thought they did an amazing job blending the two in Force Awakens. More so in the other ones. I think the other two beyond this one, they didn't do as good a job. I think they should have let the other two be more with the new cast, less of the old cast. But The Force Awakens, that's a perfect way to bring it all back, I think, personally. Rogue One, this is almost up here too, but I'm going to put it right here. Rogue One was an amazing experience in the theater from start to finish. I loved everything they did with Rogue One. I mean, my top five and again, the first four yo-yo around: Empire, New Hope, Force Awakens, Return of the Jedi, and Rogue One. That's my top five. And the first four are in constant flux all the time, but Rogue One is solidly in five. Love Rogue One. And Solo, it's going up here. Do or do not. There is no try. I think Solo's a lot better than people give it credit for. I really do. Solo is an amazing, it's not an amazing movie, but it's got a lot of good in it, a lot of great in it. And I think it gets a lot of flack when it shouldn't get a lot of flack. It really shouldn't. People get on like, oh, it's not Harrison Ford playing Han Solo. Oh, but you know what? Harrison Ford's 80 freaking years old. Let's move on. Let's get a new Han Solo in here for a change. Let's get a new Indiana Jones. I think we're just sitting on these characters and we just need to move on. I mean, I'll never not see Harrison Ford as Han Solo, but it doesn't mean it's time to bring on some new blood and try some new stuff. I mean, I may get some hate for that, and you guys might be flaming me in the comments for that right now, but it's time to move on. Let's try some new stuff. New Hope, man, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, may the Force be with you. This one is top tier material for me. I have loved it since day one. Like I said, I probably saw it in the theater when this was called A New Hope, not episode 4. I've been with it since there's not a time in my life that I don't feel like I've had new hope in my life. Same with the Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Those are so ingrained in my brain, like Indiana Jones, that I don't know of a time without them. I really don't. I don't know of a space in my world without them because I've known them for so long. Stomach's getting a little hungry, so I hope the growl doesn't come across here in a second. Rise of Skywalker, man. I might make that my bottom tier. I haven't seen... I said I didn't think I had a bottom one, but I might put Rise of Skywalker. That's a tough one. I have a lot of issues with Rise of Skywalker. I think it's too much fan service. Bringing Palpatine back was a bad idea. You set Kylo Ren to be up this ultimate baddie in the universe, and all of a sudden he's relegated to second fiddle again. Now, I haven't seen all these recently. My opinions may change, and I do plan to eventually maybe try and go through all the movies one at a time to give my little review and haiku to them. Hold on, one more sip of water. Just really thirsty. And opinions may change, but I'm going off mental opinions right now. And Rise of Skywalker, man, for all it does good, it does bad. And I'm not a critical person. I try to stay very positive in everything I do. But I have a lot of trouble with Rise of Skywalker. I have a lot of trouble with it. Palpatine rubs me the wrong way. The Palpatine stuff is really cool and really neat. And for a horror channel, for a horror person, I love that stuff. But at the same time, just a lot of fan service in that one. I feel like a lot of the new cast didn't have a lot to do either. They're trying to find spots for the old cast, who's there. It doesn't work for me. I'll leave it in the bottom for now. And if I get a chance to go back through all the Star Wars movies again, which I want to try and do, we'll see where that lands. And I may do another tier ranking after that. And once I watch them all, maybe rewatch them again. I really do want to go back through them again. So, all right. I'm about ready to sync my channel. I don't know who's around me about to start screaming. But The Last Jedi. We have come to this one. I can see people unsubscribing as soon as I do this, but this is what I'm doing for The Last Jedi. Love me or hate me for it, but there it is. Okay. The Force is strong with this one. I mean, The Last Jedi got so many things right. Everybody that complained about The Force Awakens being, oh, it's just a retread, it's a rehash, it's just a New Hope all over again, yada, 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 yada. Well, guess what? They gave us Last Jedi. They gave us Last Jedi, and it wasn't rehash. It was something new and fresh and different. Does it have a few flaws? Sure. The whole casino thing could have easily been trimmed down to 10 minutes. It gave me flashbacks to the prequel vibes. But overall, they had a few things like a few of the characters didn't have things to do. There's a little things throughout, but overall, as a whole, witnessing the whole umbrella of The Last Jedi, Force is strong with that one, man. They nailed that one. I thought they did a really good job with that one. It is a little too long, and like I said, there are some excess that could have been cut down. But overall, that book deserves to be in second place. I think those two, Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, they nailed. They got right. It's The Rise of Skywalker that really dropped off for me. I just think they just did not do that one right at all. So there you go. That's my tier ranking. If you have one, I'll see if I can find a way to add this in so you guys can go do your own if you want to do it. And then just hit me up. I'll see what I can do about putting some information where you can let me know you've done it. And I'll check this too. I think there's a way you can do it here. Like I said, this is my first time doing a tier ranking, so I don't know how it's going to turn out. I hope it turns out good. So thank you for sticking with me. If it's a little bit rough at spots, don't hate me for my rankings and my reviews. I'm not a critical person. This is kind of tough for me to do. Except the last two, Attack of the Clones and Rise of Skywalker. You know, the prequels, I don't love the prequels. The prequels, when I saw The Phantom Menace like 4 times in the theater. Because the first time I saw it, I was like, what was that? Second time, I was like, okay. Third time, I was like, well, maybe. Fourth time, I was like, okay, I kind of get it now. I kind of vibing with it. But it took me a while. Same with Revenge of the Sith, man. The first time, a few times I saw it, drove down to Myrtle Beach with my friends to see it. And saw it twice in the theater down there. And I was like, okay, it works. But it's not exactly what I think it should be. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and shut it up here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Subscribe if you enjoy the channel. Subscribe if you enjoy what I'm trying to do here. It's mostly horror. And, you know, Star Wars, it skirts that horror. Skirts it just a little bit from time to time. Just ever so slightly at times. So I think it belongs on a horror channel. It's in the gray area. There's like that horror gray area. Just a companion short. And it's in the gray area too. So anyways, take care. Thanks for listening. Rank them below. If you want to rank them, just go ahead and rank them in the comments. If you don't want to go through a tier list too. And just let me know. Am I an idiot? Am I not an idiot? Just let me know. Have a good one. And I should say this as I close out. May the Force be with you.